Greetings and Happy New Year. If you're watching me, you can join me maybe in saying we did it. At least we can say that in a few hours. It's the 31st of December, New Year's Eve. Finally, the end of this horrific, horrific year. Um, I don't normally take a lot of stock in the new year, celebrating the new year. We do a few things. Um, I don't really think it's that much different than any other time. Normally, this year though, it sure feels good to kick the kick the old year to the curb. I mean, I'm telling you, if anything, we want rid of it's 2020. I don't think anybody found anything good about it. Um, I was just doing some little housekeeping chores yesterday and today. Um, I think that's sort of a natural thing for most of us to do when we get to the end of the year. We sort of feel like something new's coming and we want to make some kind of preparations. Some people make resolutions. I have never really made resolutions, but I do have some hopes. I have some hopes for the new year, of course, like we all do. I definitely feel a difference. I feel something different coming. I think it's a combination of a lot of things that makes us feel that way. I think a lot of us have felt that we've given up our holidays. So, in the promise, at least in the hopes that this quarantine period is going to be, we can see the end of it maybe in the future sometime, with the vaccines coming, etc. I have to say it's not has been all that encouraging for me. I lost a relative the day before Christmas. A cousin passed from COVID, and I have a very close friend, very dear friend, and two extended family members who are just newly diagnosed. And so that's really tough. I but I'm looking around and I'm seeing, the vaccines are maybe in sight. My husband's keeping up with the news on that, and we're hopeful. But regardless of what happens with that, I think we can all agree that when we do get back to a normal, it's going to be a little different than it is now. It's not going to be the same. It can't be the same. It just can't be the same. For one thing, there's a lot of people missing. A lot of people missing that were there. There's a lot of friends that are gone that are passed, or many have of my friends or people acquaintances that I know are leaving the area, have left the area, either going home to wherever they came from, or going someplace that they always wanted to get to and kept putting it off. And I think now they think is the time to go. So that's going to look, the landscaping is going to look different, different faces. We're going to see different businesses open, then a lot of places closed. Some of our favorite places to go are going to look different. Um, that's scary, but it's inevitable. Things do change. But what I was interested in, I'm interested in my feelings. My feelings, how I feel inside has changed. Um, I was sitting here yesterday and today doing a little housekeeping. One thing I'd like to do this time of the year, I do a lot of restringing. Not a lot of restringing, but I check my bracelets. I'm big on my bracelets. And I just restrung some of my amber bracelets here yesterday. And and I just realized, I've had these, if you remember, if you watch me very often, you see that a lot of times you see me wearing these two bracelets alone or in combination with others. They're identical, pretty much identical, not exactly, but where these are the bracelets that I wear that really keep me grounded, that I feel keep me grounded, and I like to wear one in each, the right hand and the left hand. They used to be bracelets that I only wore at the time of the year when like it when the sun and the moon, light and dark, were in balance. I was channeling the energy of that energy of balance and balancing myself, trying to get myself balanced, either before the increasing darkness was upon us or the increasing light was coming. And then I found that this last past year, wearing these two bracelets, I couldn't hardly function without the two bracelets. It just sort of kept me in a space of balance. That's all I can say. But I just realized in the last couple weeks, I haven't really been pulling these bracelets that much. And I've been turning to some of my other bracelets more, for particularly my amber bracelets, um, which provide, for many witches particularly, or for many people, amber is a beloved substance. It's not actually a gemstone. It is a resin. It's a petrified resin. It's a resin from um, tree. It's tree sap. That's what it is. But it's ancient. It's ancient tree sap. But it for many people, it holds many healing properties, and it's very good for so many different things. And a lot of witches are very fond of it. As a matter of fact, some people refer to it as the witch's stone. Of course, some people refer to some other stones as the witch's stone. Depends on what witch you're talking about. But anyway, I've always found it to be very, very comfortable. I wear it a lot. I wear amber both as in everyday life, but I wear also in the ST. I wore a lot of amber as part of my garb. Um, I've been very comfortable with it. But I found myself turning more. I have not been wearing much amber for the year 2020, and I found I'm all of a sudden turning to it for some reason. I feel a lot of things that are coming to me that are um, kind of a different feeling. I don't feel like so much. A lot of people approach this time of the year and they'll want to clean out or start, get rid of old things. You want to get rid of old things. For me, it's not so much of getting rid of old things as it is for the new, preparing for the new, preparing for new things. And I don't mean that in an optimistic sense, although I am optimistic, I would guess. But that's not the reason I'm doing it. I feel like, we learned a lesson in gardening that we think about the spring and whatever, when we start wanting to plant something, we plant seeds. We plant seeds. And as witches, we talk about planting the seeds of our intention at the new moon of things we want to manifest with the full moon. That's moon magic that's what that's all about. And we do a lot of that as witches in our spell work, and many of our spells are tied to the phases of the moon. Okay. But as a gardener, the more time I spend in my garden, the more time I realize that it's not so simple as just going out and planting seeds. Before you can plant seeds and expect them to grow, you have to prepare your soil. And many people tell people, would be gardeners, that it might take you 3 years to grow soil before you can grow plants. If you go to just dig up a place of your garden bed and plant something in the dirt that's out there, very few things will really thrive. You have to enrich the soil somehow. A lot of people are making raised beds. We do a lot of gardening here in raised beds or in containers, and you have options. Yes, you have options to go and purchase good mixes to go, or make good mixes to go into your soil beds and into your raised beds. And we've done that, of course, and you get pretty good results from that. But still, it's not the same as growing your soil, Your soil every year, as plants die in it, and the old plants nurture the space where you're going to grow new plants, and you keep adding, and you compost materials, and you keep adding and enriching, and that cycle of that happening in your garden beds creates a soil which is the basis, the foundation in which you can plant seeds and really expect manifestation of a um, of something grown, of something that you can harvest. It's kind of funny to think of it that way. It's hard to explain. It's something you have to kind of experience to understand. But anyway, I was thinking, life, that's what my life is right now. Of course, there's a lot of things I wish to manifest next year, that I wish to come true next year, that I'm hopeful for things happening next year. But I have a sense right now of laying the soil, of creating the soil in which to lay the seeds of those things that I desire. I don't know how to explain it, but I can try to explain it in more specific terms. I'm doing things like really turning my attention. Been making vinegars, a lot of vinegars. I started making my own fermentation um, liquid, my own fermentation to do brewing, to make for brewing. I don't want to, rather than buying yeast in order to make fruit wines or meads or whatever. I'm going to make my own fermentation starter. I'm creating that in order to take the place of yeast. I want to capture yeast. I'm going to be capturing wild yeast and creating sourdough starter cultures and such like that. Those kind of things. I'm thinking in terms of the garden of laying things in that are long-term items that I have to lay onion seeds rather than trying to grow onion sets, which we have in the past, or not even grown onions at all. Growing the seed, I realized that the seed, it takes a long time for that seed, so I'm trying to get my seeds in. So there's plenty of time to add those layers, add those layers, add those layers. And that's what we do in our life, right? We're adding some layers. I'm adding some layers, adding some layers. I'm growing my soil, adding some layers, adding some compost, adding some, you see, these kind of things, fertilizers. It's always growing and growing and getting that foundation in everything that I am doing. I feel that way. I don't know how to explain it, but it's not just going through my house and I'm trying to organize my house, but it's not just organizing my house like, oh, this is some clutter. I want to get rid of some clutter. No, it's what do I want this to be for? What do I want to do here? For what purpose? What do I need to do this here? For what purpose? Those kind of things. Those kind of things. Hard to put my finger on, hard to really describe it, but it's something that I feel really strongly. And I urge all of you to give some thought tonight, tomorrow, the next few days as we approach the next year. What kind of soil are you going to build? What is your foundation for the new year? You know it's going to be different. If you think it's going to be the same, you're going to be in a big disappointment. We can't go back to the same. You know, you know, I, I've shared the story so many times. I'm sick of hearing it myself. But I've been in the SCA. My husband and I have been members of the SCA. This historical recreation, uh, like I live a history, but it's not. It's a hobbyist, a historical hobbyist. Let's call it medieval hobbyist group for over 20 years, and we're very much in the thick of it. And I had this. I spoke on my last video about how we just were pushed beyond belief, and stressed beyond belief. The last year, the year before, just of demands from this groups within that group, and commitments within that group, and expectations of us, and that it just soured me so much, left me with wanting to just hide. And somebody posted on Facebook, oh, we don't know if we can get together for this event in 2021. There's no go ahead yet for that event, but we're going to go ahead and planning it just in case it's going to happen. We're ready. And she started out listing these things, the same stuff that we did, exactly the same. Exactly the same. Step, step, step. Starting to lay demands on us. Step, step, step. Here they come. I was so mad. I got so mad. I got off of Facebook. I'm like, I can't even deal with this. You want everything to be the same way as it was before all this. You know that that's not going to happen, don't you? And do you think that if we can't take this opportunity to change things a little bit, isn't that healthy? Just to change our thinking a little bit, change our direction a little bit. Don't try to do the same thing. You're not going to have a lot of those people aren't even around anymore. They're not even here anymore. They're not going to be here. Other people are not going to be willing to come out to events for a long time. It's going to be different. Choose something different. Change it up a little bit. I was just so mad. Some people are just thinking, we've just been on a pause. Now we're going to go on. We're going to reset. We're going to ready to go exactly the same way it is. No, we are not. No, we are not. Not going to happen. I don't know what it's going to look like. I don't know what the new year is going to look like. The new normal is going to look like. It's going to be a while before we see it happening. We have a lot of transitions to do. I think my husband said something like 135,000 people have died within the United States due to COVID. 135,000 people. That's 135,000 people that are missing, are not going to be seen. How many businesses have closed? You know, things are going to be different. People are going to be, those of us who are left, if we are left at the end of this, are going to be changed. We're going to be changed by it. Be kind to yourselves, be kind to others, and let it happen. See how it happens, but be prepared for whatever happens. You know, people are preparing in different ways. I see a lot of the homesteading channels that I watch, and I get a lot of good information for, you know, preserving foods, etc. From. I really respect some of their knowledge, but they're so paranoid that people are coming. They're gonna come and try to take their food. They're gonna try to take their food. They think we're not gonna have food, and they're so worried. They're stockpiling things to last them for years, and that's their way of preparing. That's their way of feeling safe. That's fine. That's their reality. You need to find out what your reality is. My reality is restringing bracelets, making sure I feel secure, making sure I feel good and comfortable in my home. Yes, being more self-sufficient than I was. Um, Keeping the lines of communication open with the people that, however, I'm able to, you know, virtually at first. Making some plans for the future that maybe to see some people in other ways. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm keeping my mind open. I did a video the other day on my tarot reading for the year, my Wheel of the Year tarot spread I was using the Force in the Enchantment tarot, if that's the proper name. Yes, I have the book here. Force of Enchantment tarot. Well, I was thinking, what am I going to use this year? Because I want to do it again. I got a really good reading from that, but I'd like to try something different this year. And I did get two decks I wanted to share with you because they're so different from each other, and they're so different from this Horse in the Enchantment. I'm not exactly sure what if I want to pull from there or not, but I want to show you where they are. Um, and I think in order to do that, I might want to put on my other camera so you can see better. Let me change the camera and give you a closer look at the deck, see if we can see. This is the first deck that I received as a gift this year. My husband got me this deck. Um, I had never heard of this deck before, and I think he said he heard it somebody talking about. I think it was a Kickstarter deck. I'm not sure. I've never really done Kickstarter decks before, but I believe that it's really. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's even available. In what markets is available from? I'm not sure where he bought it. He might have bought it directly from the website. But it's called the Divine Canine Tarot, which he was excited. He thought it was going to be dogs, but it's more wolf energy than dog energy. It's just canine energy. But it says a 78 card deck which combines classic tarot iconography with the symbolism of wild and mythical canids from around the world. Okay, and I want to say it is mostly wolves, and I was excited. It's pretty much wolves. I was excited about that in one way because we just, in a book club that I'm in, we spent the last part of the year reading the about women who run with the wolves. It's a book from the 70s. which is really it was a very cathartic for a lot of us. But it um, a lot of us have a pretty strong connection with wolf energy, and we really got a lot out of that book. And I was excited to see this was wolves. I was excited to see when I got the cards that the illustrations. I don't know if they are showing up very well here or not. I always seem to have a glare, but we can hold some of these pictures up to show you. Um, some of them are easier to see than others, but they're, you know, they're lovely colors, lovely. It's lovely illustrations, and some of them are, um, you know, the images themselves are quite poignant, and it was you would seem. Here's one. This was interesting. The Wheel of Fortune. I was terrifically interested in that one, so I was very excited to see, you know, what it was the author's um, thoughts. You know, what was his thoughts on this? Well, very disappointingly, there is no, of course, there's no book accompanying the deck yet. You can tell from the box. I mean, the box is really lovely. You know, that when the deck sits in here, there's a lot of room. There's plenty of room for a book this size, which I think there will have eventually. But I was really disappointed because there's a PDF that you can follow, which I follow to get a not a book that is not printed because it hasn't been printed yet. But I was disappointed in the book because the book is really just a regurgitation of meanings from a really basic guide from any basic Rider Waite style deck that follows that system. Um, and it doesn't have any explanation as to why this Wheel of Fortune shows wolf and hare in both skeleton and living whatever kind of um, condition. It, you know, there's a lot of, you know, it has wonderful, it might even have a wonderful, look at it, wonderful, look at that graphic of that death card. It's really beautiful. But you know, like you get one sentence and you think, oh, that's a really cool sentence. What is that? Um, what is the what kind of a what kind of a I can't think. You know, what did the author have in mind when he was here? Look at this. Here's the world card. Look at this, the world card. See the world card. He talks here about this wolf. It mentioned something about the wolf having seen everything in that with through his eye, seeing the whole world through his eye. And you expect more, but then when you read more in the meaning, it has nothing. It has nothing. So I'm thinking maybe I might do my reading in this because then it would give me the month to try to find out for myself what the position would be for each card. Like for instance, um, see, some of them are just so, they're very ordinary. It's very ordinary. Here's the wolf defeated in battle, going away with a bloody, um, with blood stains on him and bloody footprints. This is the Eight of Cups, which we, you know, time to walk away from the fight. But what is the energy there that's specific to the wolf is what I'm trying to say. I wasn't saying that very clearly because I was really looking for certain images that did not show up. But like here, look at this beautiful Six of Swords. Look at that beautiful Six of Swords. Carrying, you know, carrying her pup across the water. It's beautiful imagery. That's beautiful. But what is it specific to the wolf? What is it specific to the wolf, that has that energy that would help us? Why is this? I have this thing. I have this thing. If we didn't have the specific, a little bit, if there wasn't any twist on the meaning, if there wasn't any new insight given for the cards, for new cards, if this was just as exactly the same as the Rider-Waite, which a lot of people read it that way, why do we need all these decks? It kind of makes it foolish for us to have these different decks. But when we can get different insights from different decks, that adds so much to our understanding of the tarot. And that's what I really love. So I was hoping some of this knowledge that I've been gaining about the wolves will translate into me understanding the depiction of the subjects of the cards in this deck. So I think I very well might use this deck for my draw for the Wheel of the Year 2020. Look at the moon card. Ah, I always say I have to see a moon in the moon card, and that is a beautiful moon. Okay. So I think I might, and that will give me the month for each card to really delve into that card and see what I can do. So yes, I think I made the decision right here with you. You were there. You were live with the good wife when she made the decision. So we'll see how that plays out. Okay. I got another deck for a gift that my husband turns he says, oh, I can't believe it. He says he's so freaked out. This was on my wish list. When God bless my grandson, he's the best grandson in the world. He likes to shop for Grammy on using the wish list, and I got what I wanted, the Murder of Crows Tarot. You know my affinity. If you've been to my website, and my Bird in the Crone website, or my Facebook page, Bird in the Crone, or my Instagram account, Bird in the Crone, anywhere, the Good Wife's Garden, you will maybe have read the story about Bird, or Little Bird, or my relationship with the crows here, the local crows here in my neighborhood, my personal relationship, and it has forever changed me. It has forever changed me and forever changed the way I feel about birds. I mean, I've always sort of liked birds, but I just have so much respect for birds and bird energy, and it's 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 redefined who I am as a witch for sure. Anyway, I was excited to see this, and it did come with a little. Here's a really nice box, the same kind of box. This is the Lo Scarabeo publisher, same as did the Santa Muerte Tarot. So same kind of box, same kind of book. Not a lot of information in the book. A lot of languages, which I love to see. So it's open for everybody. But just a very little, description of each card, but a little like a paragraph. At least you get a paragraph. At least you get a paragraph about it, which I do not get from this. The Canine Tarot, or whatever is it? Is it called the Canine Tarot? The Divine Canine. Just to be fair, they don't. The book is not out yet. It could happen, but I'm not holding my breath. But so this gives you a little bit. It has keywords too, but it gives you little places that really, hopefully, will have something to do with bird energies. Okay, so that's really good to know. That's a good thing. But I'm not going to use this deck for my yearly draw, because this is very, 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 did I say very? Much in shadow. Very shadowy. This is a great deck, and I'm going to do a lot of good readings with this deck for sure. But it is certainly in shadow. I'll just go through some of these to show you. It is very good for shadow reading shadow reading, but very dark imagery. Um, Very powerful though. Oh my goodness, very, very powerful imagery. I love it. I just think it's gorgeous. Very gorgeous. There's no tongue in cheek here. This is serious, serious stuff. Serious stuff. Look at the moon though. Look at the, no, that's not the moon. Yes, it is. That's, why am I saying that's not the moon? What else could it be? Look at the moon. Isn't that something? Isn't that something? Whoops. There you go. This is the same moon face that I put on my the jar that collects my moon water outside. The, my rainwater. I have that on and I keep it under the moon to keep it charged. But isn't this glorious? Not too crazy about that card. I don't know why, but some of them are just a little bit. My husband says it's just a little bit much for him. Just a little over the edge. But yet again, he does not have the. He has some knowledge of tarot, but it's rather limited. He's learning, so sometimes he has a little trouble seeing beyond the graphic. I don't mean to go through these too fast. I'm just trying to give you an idea what kind of things. I won't show you them all in case you're getting the deck yourself. You want to be surprised. But anyway, it's going to be one of those decks too. That look at that. Look at this bugger. Look at that. I cannot, no way, get my hand even near around that. I don't know how I'm going to shuffle it. Very thick cardstock and very slippery. So it's going to be very hard to shuffle. But I'm still going to use it. I still think it's very pretty. But not for this reading. So that's going to be a little bit of fun with winter. One fun things, a couple fun things to do this winter. Speaking of tarot, when I'm talking about the tarot decks, it's a perfect chance if anybody was interested in signing up for the tarot classes that I'm going to be offering. It's going to be the same kind of a deal as I had before, where we had 2 sessions, tarot part 1 and part 2, each 4 weeks in length. You can sign up for one or both. Um, I'll have more information when we have the dates. But what we had before was we had 2-hour sessions. We had 4 of them for part 1, and then we had a bonus 2-hour like discussion, open discussion, question, that kind of thing. So it's really 5 sessions. 10 hours. Yeah, 2 hours each session, plus the extra one is 10 hours. 10 hours for we did that for, I think it was $60 if you signed up for both, or you said if you pre-reg, I think it was ahead of time. I don't know. There was a little bonus. There was a little, you could get it a little cheaper if you signed up for both sessions at once. But anyway, you also get, like, I make handout that you get to keep, and there's a lot of, you're paying for more than just the class, but for the price of one tarot reading, you get 10 hours. You're getting 10 hours of, live, and we do reading. We read together. We go through, and it's for every level. And when we did it before, we've had people at every level together in one class, and it's worked out really, really well, because even me, yes, me, the teacher, got a lot out of that class. I learned some new things. That's what's fun about tarot. You always learn some new things. No matter how good you are, you still have room to learn. So we did reading together, and it was just so much fun. We just really, we loved it. We enjoyed it so much. So if you're interested, all I wanted to know from you today is, if you're interested, just shoot me an email, a message, and just let me know, and send me your email address, and I will be sure to give you the email. I will contact you when we're ready to start, and give you the details. It's not committing. Just by inquiring, you're not committing to anything. Okay, so what does that have to do with the new year for me? Well, tarot, getting a good basis. A lot of people say I've been wanting to learn the tarot, and I have not. Tarot is a really good tool to help you understand what's going on. what is going on? What are the energies? What in the hell is going on around me right now? Tarot is one of the best ways of knowing. So getting to be able to read tarot, you're doing yourself a big favor. You're giving yourself a big assist to understand things. It's like having a well-stocked pantry. It's giving you good preparation for whatever's coming. So it's a good time to get those skills in. No matter where you are, what level, you might want to join the class. So just give me a shout out if you do. Okay. Anything else that you're doing, housekeeping things. If you don't have protection up in your house, like we go back and look at some of the old videos, make sure you have some protection up at your house. Witch's jar, witch's bottle, whatever. Hang a stash it up at your witch's purse, up by your doors. Do something. Do something. Carry something in your pocket. Talisman of some kind or something under your pillow. Tuck it under your pillow. There's a lot of things you can do. Protect you, protect your loved ones, protect your pets. But you know, and stay safe. Whatever you do, just stay safe. Stay safe. Stay safe. Thanks for watching. Happy New Year. And I'm Rebecca, and as always, I send you blessings.